because it's your last day, we're actually really, really going to miss you guys. You guys are a fantastic group of students. Most of you we've had for 4 years. Um, just really, you guys have had so many successes over the 4 years. Things like sporting events and volunteer work and helping people out and academic successes and different types of clubs. I don't know if Mr. Turner wanted to say something or if you just want to wrap it up at the end. Either way. Okay, sounds good. Um, but we're here today because we want to celebrate all of your academic successes, and it's a lot. You guys have done some incredible things, and you've done it during this whole COVID pandemic. I mean, right in the middle of your high school career, you have to deal with the COVID pandemic, and you guys, oh my gosh, you guys are in middle school? Yeah, right in the middle of middle school. You guys have had to deal with it, and that's been some added stress, and you guys have risen to the occasion. You've been a great group of students. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started and honor you guys for some of your accomplishments. The first person up is Mrs. Rodriguez with the spelling team.
All right. We had some amazing eighth graders on our spelling team this year, some that jumped in right at the last minute and still did a pretty awesome job. So we'd like to honor those folks. Natalie Smith, come on up. Bailey Shy. Luke Newsom. James Landis. You're not Natalie. Who are you, Natalie? Where's Luke? Skipping on the last day? No, we got. And last but not least, our first runner-up for the entire school-wide spelling bee, Caroline Ensley. These guys did an amazing job prepping and performing in the spelling bee, and it's super stressful to get up here in front of all you guys, so kudos to them. And before I leave you, just want to say, as your former 7th grade teacher, I love you guys all. You are going to be very much missed. The letters that you guys wrote, your 8th grade letters of advice for the kids this year, they all really loved them, and they were really heartfelt, and you guys had a lot of really good advice for them, so they appreciate that, and I appreciate that. So good luck in high school, and your entire 7th grade team will miss you very much as well.
All right, so I'm going to be handing out some awards now for the science fair. I forced all of my advanced class to actually participate in the science fair here locally, but we had several students move on to the district level and do very well there. So I'm going to invite to the stage Olivia, Natalie, Brooklyn, Charlie, Emmeline, Bailey, and Caroline. Not only did they all do very well at districts, Emmeline, Caroline, and Bailey also qualified to go on to states, and we still don't have the results back yet. So these people up here did walk away from the districts with over $1,000 in awards and certificates and scholarships. So give them a final round of applause. All right, so I'm also going to give out and name the names for people who have been on the honor roll all year this year, and you will be collecting a sling bag and a certificate for that. Yet we're going to wait.
I will be very quick. Something I want to mention, I'm sure you guys probably remember, but for the honor roll all year, all of the honor roll awards are based on the first 3 quarters of this year, because that's how much we know by the time we put together the awards, and also 4th quarter of last year. So 4th quarter of last year, first 3 quarters of this year, that is what makes up the whole year. When you guys come up, make sure you come up this way, you'll come through, and then you'll exit that way.
And in the order that I call you up to, so don't ditch me. All right, so we're going to start off with Alyssa. Come on up. And then we have Paisley, Brooklyn, Raylan, Alex Baird, Landon, Montana. My phone's going off. That's fun. It's time to go to second period. I got Montana. Carter. Did I call you name Carter? Katie Black. Braden. Lily Cherry. Olivia. Elizabeth. Jasmine. Rebecca. Becky. Hallie Estep is on this list, but let's not wheel her up here. Maybe Mr. Robinson could deliver that to Hallie. Caroline. Tanner. Mr. Robinson in place for Hallie Estep. Winter. Logan. Andy. I just had to do that for you. Sorry, AJ. Alicia. Sage. Max. Lacey. Colin Hebner. Colin Hendershot. Jordan Hill. Haley Hinton. Aaron Huber. Bryce Jones. Emmeline. Brooke. Caitlin. There you are. Jacob Labre. Allison Linville. Hunter. Cooper Manson. Zoe Matz. Brianna. Cooper Meacham. Mason Moyer. Reagan Needs. Eston. Luke Newsom, who skipped today. Campbell. Fallon. Sophia. Susie. Bailey. Kendra. Kathleen. Natalie. Charlie. Grant. Gage. Who's Gage? Grace. Lily Charlie. And Pierce. I will say, when looking at this list, it is impressive because the 8th grade, you are tied for the same number of people who have achieved this as in the 7th grade. The 5th grade is very shortly, closely behind us, and we left the 6th grade in the dust. So, hold on. The font is so much smaller for 8th grade. You guys have far more than any other grade in this school. So give yourself a round of applause for meeting that achievement. Mr. Robinson, it's all you.
You can go ahead and applaud. Don't lie. I know you do. right, so let's hope I don't mess this up. I'm prone to do that. You know. So, the Distinguished Honor Roll, 4.0 GPA, all year. One year. It's none other than Campbell Reese. Two years. Nobody. Three years. Nobody. Four years. Caroline Inslee. And, drum roll please, Bailey Shy. And now we will turn it over to Mrs. Farmer.
It is a long list as well. So this says honor roll all 4 years. So that's all through middle school, is that correct? All through middle school on the honor roll every quarter. Brooklyn. Brooklyn. Carter. Katie. Olivia. Mr. Robinson, can you help us again with Hallie? Hallie Eastop. Caroline. And I guess we're supposed to call him Andy? Max. Hindershot. Jordan. Haley Hinton. Emmeline. Caitlin Crayer. Caitlin, come on up. Jacob Lavray. Allie Linville. Hunter. Cooper Manson. Cooper Meacham. Eston. Luke, who apparently skipped. Campbell. Susie. Bailey. Kathleen. Natalie. Charlie. And Gage. Gage. Nice job, everyone. Looks like next we have Mrs. Mangat with perfect attendance.
Now, this list is a little smaller. This is perfect attendance. Whew. I know, coming to school is hard, especially when you can stay home and play video games all day. I'm not mentioning any names. Okay, so perfect attendance for 1 year. Max. Jacob Labre. Cooper Manson. And Susie Schultz. Yep, perfect attendance for 2 years. Jasmine Deerfield. And Colin Hendershot. Perfect attendance 3 years goes to Winter. Perfect attendance 4 years all the way through middle school goes to Howie Eastup. And you can fight us if you want to argue about her leg surgery on Friday, because that was a school-related issue. We will fight you for that one. She deserves this. Mr. Turner? Yes, I believe that was save the best for last. Hey, we can't be friends anymore.
You know, this group we will miss because it started at the beginning of the year. I got to tell a story on these 8th grade teachers. First 9 weeks, I get this honor roll list and all these paw prints on the wall. So I went down and said, "You guys are getting soft. There's no way all these kids made honor roll." Oh yeah, they did. And today it even proves it academically. On the state test, their science score, Mr. Palmer, was probably one of their better years of that. And then our algebra students and our math students did well. We're waiting on the ELA scores, but I know with Mrs. Menget's help that you guys probably did really well on that. So it's amazing academically how great you are. But then we talk about music. I came to a music concert just a few weeks ago. What a great sound from the band. The band had a lot of quality and the vocals, really good. And I had some parents who came many years who saw me after the concert and said, "Wow, they were good. That was a good concert." In fact, some parents, we had trouble getting them out of here. They wouldn't stay, you know, because they're still talking about the concert. And then you guys went to Philadelphia. What a great trip. I hear all the great things, saw great pictures. You've been a really good group. And I'll be honest with you, discipline-wise, you're the least disciplined in this building. I spend more time with 5th and 6th graders than I do with you guys and 7th graders. So, you know, you guys have your act together. And when it comes to sports, you know, we had some really good games played here from you know, volleyball, football, basketball, and our track teams. I apologize, track team. I've never seen a year that had more cancellations for track events, and you weren't allowed. I talked to Mrs. Menget and Mr. Palmer. You guys never had a really good track to practice on. You went to Millersport, you had a few minutes up there, and you came back. You know, you've had a tough years here with COVID, but, you know, hopefully we made it up there in the fall with you getting to go to outdoor ed over the FFA camp and make those days up for you. And I wanted to do that because you're a good group of people. I can't wait for you to go to the high school and see what the high school sees about you, because I've already warned them over there. I said, you got a good group of students coming your way. All right. I've talked to some teachers over there and said, you need to grab these kids. They're talents. And so they're excited. And I know continue to be participants in school, continue to what you do. We're very proud of you as a group. You're a great class. And as you go to the high school, I can't wait to see all the things that you're going to do at the high school. And they're excited to get you. All right. They really are. So thank you so much for your years here, for participating, for being good students. Have a good day today, all right? And then, like I said, have a good year next year. And if at any time things get rough at the high school, come see us, okay?
All right, welcome you guys. Last day of school. You guys, I know it's been tough with the COVID pandemic and all the strange things that have gone on with all of that, and that's kind of disrupted some of your 3 years that you've had here. Most of you have been here for 3 years with us. I have to say, in that 3 years, like Mr. Turner said, you guys, some of you have accomplished some incredible things. You're really a group of amazing students, really impressive, and you should be proud of yourselves with your accomplishments with sports, music, clubs, all kinds of different things. But today we're going to honor the students who have some really fantastic academic achievements. So we're going to start off today with Mrs. Rodriguez, who's going to tell you about the spelling team.
All right, we have some awesome 7th grade spellers in this group. I had a really fantastic team this year, put in a lot of time, and we had a very exciting final B. So I'd like to recognize all those members of the spelling team. Come on up, I have a certificate for you. Zane Boggs. Okay, well, let's hold our applause to the last person. Yes, and after Zane's special, you can go that way. There you go, Zane. But everyone else come this way and exit that way. Okay. Paisley Burnett. Taylor Jones. Hold your applause. Heather Slaby. And Rachel Sponseller. There you go, dear. And last but not least, the 7th grade is proud to be the representative of the actual school-wide champion, Ms. Jessica Fike. Thank you guys so much, and on to
The next thing. All right. The next thing is, it's really incredible how long this list is, but the next award is the all A, it's not all A's. The next award is Honor Roll All Year. And to get Honor Roll All Year, if you guys remember, it has to be, listen up, it has to be 4th quarter of last year plus the first 3 quarters of this year, because that's when the awards are kind of all calculated and ordered and everything. So it's always the 4th quarter of the year before and then the first 3 quarters of this year, and it's a lot of students. And so we have Mrs. Farmer, who's going to read the names. Mrs. Morris has the certificates, and then just certificates, and I'll do the sling bag. Yep. You can use a ruler, I don't know, however you want to do it. It's this whole list. Okay.
Just like last time, hold your applause till we get all the way down to the end. So listening and coming up, you're coming up on this side and then exiting that way after you get your stuff. Delaney Amick, Zane Boggs, hold your applause. Hayden Brunty, Ellie Bueller, Reese Cheney, Emma Charles, which I don't think is here. Is here. Brett Clark, Xavier Klum, Kylan Kokenauer, Marley Cowgill, Brandon Deerfield, Bryce Dell, Taylor Fast, Jessica Fike, Callie Foster, Sadie Freeman, Alicia Gibbs, William Gonzalez, Kendall Harlan, Avery Hatfield, Brenley Hoisington, Emma Huntwork, Allie Johnson, Ryan Kennedy, Silas Kohler, Lily Lachelle, Sienna Lodge, Caitlin Maddox, Jackson Martin, gentlemen, Cohen May, Alexis McCoy, William McCurry, Cadence McKittrick, Drew Morris, Kaylee Morris, Kate Osterman, Gabe Saunders, Reese Shirey, Ashley Shook, Bridget Schreier, Heather Slaby, Jayla Sloan, Austin Smith, Macy Smith, Rachel Sponseller, Ethan Stapleton, Luke Strauser, Micah Strauser, Chase Swain. Ladies and gentlemen, please be quiet. Drea Thomas, Trevor Utzinger, Vivian Vidmar, Abigail Walters, let's have a round of applause for this wonderful group. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about, make sure we can hear, guys. The next thing we're going to talk about is I'm going to go ahead and do, Mrs. Burnett has an outstanding art student that she would like to recognize.
Okay, so I do have an outstanding art student for this year, but I do want to say it was a very hard decision, and I continue to be extremely impressed with all of your work and the quality of your work, and you guys did a great job this year. So the outstanding student for art in 7th grade is August Calgo.
Okay, now we're going on to, Mrs. Braid is going to be giving the awards for the All A Honor Roll all year. And when I say all A's, it's not just A's, it's 4.0, so it can't even be an A minus. So this group is especially impressive because these students had solid A's, not even A minuses, for at least 1 year, and some of them had 2 or 3 years of straight A's. Again, including the fourth quarter from the year before, rolling over into this year. It's really an impressive group. So we're going to go ahead with Mrs. Brait. That, it's this one. I'm sorry, you're behind me. It's this group right here. 1, 2, 3.
The 1 year All A Award, Hayden Brunty, Heather Slaby, Macy Smith. Let's give them a round of applause. The 2-year All-A Award, Sienna Lodge, Alexis McCoy, Kaylee Morris. Three years consecutively all A's, Sadie Freeman, Ryan Kennedy, Rachel Sponseller.
So the next one is the Perfect Attendance Award, and some students have perfect attendance for 1 year this school year. Some have it for 2 years, and some have it for 3 years, and that means you didn't miss a whole day in hours for the entire school year. And that's a lot, even with doctor's appointments. That's really impressive.
Okay, seventh graders with perfect attendance for 1 year. Brandon Deerfield, Kendall Harlan, Chase Swain, Andrea Thomas, and Andrew Wilson. All right, now these folks have had perfect attendance for the last 2 years. Emma Huntwork and William McCreary. And lastly, we have 2 folks who have had perfect attendance for the last 3 years. Jessica Fike and Austin Smith.
Okay, it looks like that wraps things up for our awards ceremony today. Great job, you guys. You're an impressive group. We're going to let the teachers dismiss you guys as they would like. Does anyone Thank you, Mr. Turner. As he was saying, you guys have done some impressive things in the last year, 2 years. Most of you have been here for 2 years now, and you guys got to start middle school in the middle of a pandemic, which is a lot. That's just, that's a lot to take on when you're getting introduced to a brand new building. And I think you guys have done a really impressive job, and you should be proud of yourselves, and you should be proud of all that you've accomplished in the last couple years. And today we are going to honor some of those accomplishments. We're going to start with Mrs. Burnett real quick. She has an award for Outstanding Art Student in 6th grade.
Hey, so I do have an award for an outstanding art student. I am very glad that I was able to be your art teacher this year. I was really impressed with your guys' creativity and all your projects, and this was a really, really difficult decision. There are a lot of you that I think deserve this award, but I only could pick one. So the student that I chose for Outstanding Student in Art in 6th grade is Seth Robeson.
Way to go, Seth. Oh, something I forgot to mention, now that we're getting started and we're going to have longer and longer lists that we're going to read of names. When you hear your name, guys, listen up. When you hear your name called, you'll come up these steps and come across the stage to get your certificate and awards, and then you'll exit those steps. So up here and out that way. All right, the next awards are given by Mrs. Fisher, and it's a piano awards.
Okay, we did something really different in 6th grade music this year and played the keyboards for almost the whole year. And I was just really loving how a lot of you took that to be it's like you set a goal for yourselves without me really asking you to, and just continued to work really hard throughout the entire year. These certificates that I have are not for the people who have taken piano lessons. They are not for the people who have played the piano for a long time necessarily. I wanted to recognize some people for something else. And so part of it is about how many checkoffs you accomplished, and you remember I asked you to total that up. But it's also about those who were determined to keep going even when you maybe could get away with slacking off a little bit. So congratulations to all of you who played the piano this year, because you know a lot now, and you could sit down and read some music and really impress some people. So these may not be the people you would expect to get an award for piano. So I want you to think about this a little bit differently, and it's a certificate of excellence for such good work this year. Okay, so you're going to come up this way, get your certificate, and head on across that way. Colin Orr. Riley Brown. Avery Enai. Lily Angelo. Jalen Dennison. Owen Thomas. Cole Thomas. Ansley Leith. Addie James. Bentley Kimmer. And Olivia Stapleton. Thank you and great job this year.
Thank you, Mrs. Fisher. And now, listen up, guys. Now we're going to talk about the spelling team. It takes a lot, especially in younger grades, to get up in front of the whole school and have to spell words. That's a really big deal, and I'm impressed with you guys for getting up here. And so many did such a great job. So way to go. I'd like to honor Gregory Snow. Greg Snow. And Quentin Smock. Leah Smith. Elizabeth Dunbar. Way to go to our spelling team. And now we're going to have Mr. Palmer come up and talk about the science fair.
You called it, Micah. Come on up here. All right, so I am going to talk about Micah real quick. This is the second year in a row that Micah has competed in the science fair, and I want to just reiterate what he's actually done. So he took it upon himself to volunteer to do this. He did not have to do this, and he did his entire project outside of school, right? So he actually worked on this at home on the weekends and in the evenings. And not only did he do well at our local science fair, he qualified to go on to districts at OUL that he did very well in as well. And then he qualified to go to states, and we don't even know the results yet of his project from the states yet. We won't know until early June. So he has worked his tail off for this award and for the science fair project. So give him a round of applause. A round of applause.
Way to go, Micah. Okay, the next award is Honor Roll All Year. And I don't know if you guys remember us talking about this last year. Now, I do want you to hear this because this will apply to every year forward also, so that you're aware of it. Honor Roll All Year is based on the fourth quarter of the year before and then the first three quarters of this year. So that's a big deal. Last year was a rough year with all the COVID stuff and everything. I mean, that you would think that there would be not really anybody on the list, but it's not true. We've got a really impressive list of students who had honor roll fourth quarter of last year and the first three quarters. And then again, next year will be based on this fourth quarter that we just finished and looking at the first three quarters next year. So we have Mr. Muck who's going to read the names, and you're going to come up here and get your certificate and sling bag. This right here, you can use this if it helps, since I know it's very small. Sorry.
Hey, one thing I want to say before we start is let's do a better job of respecting Mrs. Fouts, because we have way too many people. When she starts speaking, you guys all should be dead quiet immediately. We're having way too many conversations while she's trying to introduce the awards, and that's disrespectful. Okay, so we need to be better about that. This is a really long list, so we're not going to clap at all until I get to the last name. Everybody got that? All right. So honor roll all year. Lily Angelo, Alexis Blank, Riley Brown, Jalen Dennison, Lily Dingus, Elizabeth Dunbar, Micah Fisher, Samantha Flynn, Kai Gabriel, Elizabeth Hall, Levi Hendershot, Carissa Hoplite, Sage Howard, Bentley Kimmerer, Tasha Root, John Landis, Annesley Leith, Hannah Leith, Ari Linville, Keegs Lodge, Gavin Nicodemus, Hallie Nicodemus, Caden Norris, Parker Reese, Seth Robson, Addison Sims, Valerie Slaby, Leah Smith, Molly Smithberger, Cole Thomas, Owen Thomas, Cruz Wilson, Natalia Weston, Christopher White, and Cash Wilson.
All right, you guys, let's get settled again. We've got Mr. Yates coming up, and he's going to read the students who have all A honor roll all year, all A honor roll all year. I mean, really kind of let that sink in. And not only is it not just A's, it's 4.0 A's. So if a student had an A minus, they would not get this award. It is straight 4.0. Some students have it for 1 year, and some have it for 2 years in a row. No A minuses or lower, just straight A's. All right, Mr. Yates, let's find that list. It'll be these. This is for 1 year, and this is 2 years.
Okay, so this is a short list because it's such an achievement. So please clap for each individual because I would like for them to receive their individual recognition. Our first for the first year All A 4.0 GPA, Elizabeth Dunbar. Hannah Leaf. This next group is 2 years in a row achieving a 4.0 fifth grade and then continued it over into sixth grade. Micah Fisher. Leah Smith. Let's give another round of applause for all of them and their great achievement.
Yeah, that's super impressive, you guys. And then the last award that we give out at this ceremony is about attendance, perfect attendance. And you know, attendance is based on hours. And so you can't miss more than a full day's worth of hours of 1 day throughout the school year. So this is really, you know, you might have had a short doctor's appointment, but you came back to school. You've never missed more than like 6.5 hours over the whole school year. So we have some students who have 1 year and some students who have multiple years. Mrs. Smith is going to be reading those. Looks like there are no 1 year, but then it's 2 and 3.
All right, the sixth grade perfect attendance for 2 years would be Sage Howard and Leah Smith. Dynamic duo right there. Perfect attendance for 3 years, Elizabeth Dunbar.
Yeah. All right, well, you guys, that is the end of our awards ceremony for this year. I hope all of you have a wonderful summer. It's been great seeing you, and I look forward to seeing you as 7th graders on my end of the hall. Let's listen to your teachers about how you're going to be dismissed.
Okay. These were voted on and confirmed by all of the 6th grade students. The first award is nicest 6th grade teacher, and that award goes to Mr. Bauer. He got 80% of the votes. 80% of the votes. Second award, funniest 6th grade teacher, and that award was given to Mrs. Smith. All right. Next award. This was a really close one. The vote was almost evenly split on this. The winner pulled it out by 3 total votes out of the whole 6th grade, and it was best hair, and the winner was Mr. Bradhurst. Okay, next up, this was kind of a landslide. This was 99% of the vote. It was a kind of a dual category. Best screamer / meanest teacher. No, the votes are already in, kids. With 99% of the votes tallied, the winner was Mrs. Burnett. Landslide. Like I said, it was a landslide. And I've heard her scream. It's very scary. Very, very, very scary. The next award was Best Lacrosse Player. And the winner was Mrs. Fisher. It is an honor, I agree. Okay, we have 2 more awards, sorry. We need to be quiet. Or I'll stick Burnett on you guys. You don't want that. Okay. The next award was most serious about being in class. The winner was Mr. Yates. Our last award. This was kind of a blowout. It was fastest walker. Person that walks the fastest. And the winner was Vanessa. Also fastest driver. Okay. You got to come up to get your handshake. Thank you very much. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Hey, one more word. The teacher who gives the best stories ever. Mr. Knock! That means a lot, thank you. We will now go back to the 6th grade wing. Mr. Yates, homeroom first.
going to get started with our academic awards ceremony. I can't believe this is the last day of you guys being fifth graders. And when we see you next year, you'll be in the sixth grade hall. It's very exciting, and I am definitely hoping that you guys have a wonderful summer. You guys have been really impressive. This has been a strange time in history. You know, you guys are coming into the middle school at the end of a pandemic, and some things were different. You didn't do lockers like normally we do, lockers with the fifth graders, so you'll learn those next year, and we'll help you with that. Yeah, and let's make sure we're being very respectful as we're getting through the award ceremony. I really want to honor those people who have worked so hard. So many of you have worked so hard and done an excellent job with your grades and with your attendance and with your behavior. I mean, it's just really a wonderful group of students. So we're going to go ahead and get started. But before we start, I want you guys to know, if you hear your name called for an award, you would come up these steps, you'll get your awards, and then you'll exit those steps. So up here, across, and then down there. We are going to start out with Mrs. Burnett, who has an Outstanding Art Student Award.
Hi guys. So I have an award for an outstanding student in art for fifth grade. I am so glad I got to have you guys again as fifth graders. You guys really impressed me with all your art making. You guys did a wonderful job this year, and I'm so excited to give this award out. So the outstanding student in art in fifth grade is Alasia Carper.
Okay, now we're going to move on to Mrs. Harris, and she has a special reading award.
Hey guys. Okay, so I'm Mrs. Harris. Most of you guys should know me by now. I'm the reading specialist in the building. And I have a group of students that I work with each year, and I'm going to talk about who these students are in a little bit, but I want to go through a couple things first, so just bear with me. So I've seen so many posters that read, "Readers are leaders," or "Read to succeed." And I'm sure you've seen many of them. I've never really understood them. I mean, I understand them, but what's the point? I would venture to say most kids and even adults aren't going to read a book because of words on a poster. So what's it take to get you to read? I mean, studies show the earlier you are read to as a child and the frequency of being read to is the top indicator of reading and academic success. Would that make someone read? Probably not. And if you struggle with reading or just hate to do it, the task of a reading teacher can be even harder. But getting this year's group of mine to read was different. The group of students I work with this year in Reading Lab were like none other that I've ever taught. And I've been here a while, and I mean a long while. Many of you have had your parents in class. I've taught about 3,000 students in my career so far, and some of them are now teachers in this building. But this year's students surpassed what I could have ever even imagined. Besides the typical books, essays, and assignments completed each year in my class, they read a book called The Unteachables by Gordon Corman. The novel is 2 grade levels above 5th grade, contains 300 pages and 32 chapters. Now that's quite a bit. But on top of that, they had something called What's Going On work, a 32-page field assessment that covered theme, summarization, characterization, vocabulary, writing, I mean the works. And through it all, not one complaint. And for the kids that are in my class, you know how much work that was. I even had Caden, Ariana, Willow, Lexi, Aaron, and others come to read during recess or study hall. I think I drove Ariana crazy because I'd stop at a cliffhanger and she wanted to know what was next. Toki even nicknamed my broken down bucket of bolts car the Velveeta Cheese Volvo, a reference in the book. When we finished the book, something strange happened. Those students went to the library on their own to get books by the author Gordon Corman. Toki and Lexi were even in a dispute because one of them got the book that the other one wanted. Fighting over books, wow, that's a first. I have to say, I mean, Gordon Corman is a great author, and I know he is even proud of the work they did. Actually, you don't have to hear it from me, but you can actually hear it from him. 1 second for the video.
Hi, I'm Gordon Corman, author of The Unteachables, and this is a special shout out to Ms. Harris's class. I have two things to say. One, my head is not this big in real life. I don't know, it's an old webcam. But two, I am so thrilled to hear that you had such a great experience reading my books. I heard that you came in to read during recess. I'm all about that. It's kind of like an agreement between writers and their readers. You guys keep reading them, and I will definitely keep on writing them. Not sure if you know this about me. I've been writing for more than 3/4 of my life. My first book was actually my 7th grade English assignment, like 44 years ago. So I've been writing ever since, and my latest book, coming out on June 28th, is The Fort. Check this out. It will be my 100th book. Keep on reading, and so glad you enjoy The Unteachables.
Now, I have to tell you something quickly about that video. Gordon Corman is one of my favorite authors, and I emailed him only to tell him about what my students had done in my class, and the next day, I opened my email, and there was that video. And I was like so excited, but my kids know I am awful with tech. Dirk will tell you I am awful with tech. I was trying to figure out, like, how do I get this to play? I can't hear the sound. And then when I told Dirk that I wanted to show that today, I had to have my daughter help me get it to Dirk so I could play that. He did that on his own. I never asked him to send me anything. He did that on his own. Side note, his book that's coming out will actually come out on my late father's birthday, June 28th. So I'm excited when that book comes out. So with my students, for all your hard work and dedication and the fun we had together with this book, I'm going to present to them the Advanced Novel Certificate and something else. So before I do that, I'm going to pass those out, and I'm going to go through one. Well, let me do that at the end there. So I'm going to present them with the Advanced Award. But even more than this certificate, I have seen firsthand, reading is not about a poster. It's not about a certificate. Reading is about connection. Reading is about teachers inspiring students and students inspiring teachers. And for all the inspiration this group has given to me, I will always truly be grateful and blessed to have had you this year. So I have two things for these students. So one, after they get their each of my students there's a broken down old car the teacher has called the Cocoa Nerd. And it's actually called a Concorde, which is the name of a car. But one of the boys in the book, my students can tell you, Jackson, everyone, they already know this boy in the book, he has dyslexia, and it's never been diagnosed, so he struggles. He calls the car the Cocoa Nerd. So it's actually throughout the entire book. So each of my students, I got you some cocoa, some chocolate, and a thing of nerds, so that will be your own Cocoa Nerd. And then I also have an award as well. So, Aaron Foster. And can you go stand up across the stage so we can get a quick pic of you? Ariana Miranda. Toki Ford. Caden Smith. Willow Greenlee. Hayden. Kyle Brobst. Jackson Chapin. Maxie Smith. And last but not least, Kate Rice.
Oh, you're going to do the spelling team too. Can you just talk about it for a second? And those are the names.
Okay, I'm also going to award our spelling team winners. Shh. So next we're going to go through with our spelling team winners. Lily Ensley. Delaney McDermott. Emily Johnson. Emmeline Fox. And Ella Cornute.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Harris. Very exciting to actually have an author respond to our teacher and offer to do a video like that. That is really neat. All right, let's listen up, guys. It'll be important to pay attention and give respect for the people who've worked so hard to get these awards that we're going to do. The next one that we're going to do is Honor Roll All Year. And I want to make sure that you guys understand what it's like for future years. This is important for you to hear. Your first year, listen up, guys. Listen up, guys. When you get honor roll all year, it's based on the fourth quarter of the year before. Now, with you guys, I didn't do that because you weren't in our building, you know, because this is a middle school award. So we did the first 3 quarters of this school year. The grades that you earned, if you had honor roll all year, you'll get this award. Next year, it'll be based on fourth quarter of this year and the first 3 quarters of next year, because it's always 4 quarters. It's an award for a whole year's worth of grades. So that's why every quarter counts. Every single quarter counts, because every single quarter from here on out goes toward the Honor Roll All Year Award. And I have Mr. Smoleski who's going to come up and read the names. And Mrs. Don't go too fast. I should have the certificates. Give them out in the order they come up.
All right, guys. So, all of you guys worked super, super hard this year, all right, in all of your classes. And this list is the longest list I've ever seen of people who have had honor roll all year. So, when I call your name, you guys need to be really proud of yourself. Hold the applause until the end because, like I said, this is a super long list, okay? And thanks for a great year. You guys did amazing. This was a blast being in the middle school. I'm never leaving, okay? So you guys can come see me anytime you want. All right, so let's get this list started. Wait, yep, and you're going to get a bag from Miss Miller and a certificate from Mrs. Smith, okay? Our first one is Anna Lee. Hold the applause until the end. Desi. Claire Burlingcamp. Elena Brake. Kime. Holden. Not here. Alasia Carper. Ben Chabot. Jackson Chafin. Quinn Cheney. Grace Clark. Gabe Cowgirl. Ella Kernut. Ben Davidson. Parker DeVoe. Camden. Not here. Kinsley. Lily. Ensley. Sorry. Aaron Foster. Emmeline Fox. Landon Hayes. Afton. Colton Holland. Amy Johnson. Rory Johnson. Xander Krayer, yeah. Mr. Corbin Lavre. Aiden. Kaylee Matthias. Delaney. Maya. Rylan Myers. Vienna. Miss Addie Norris. Benny Palmer. Rylan Rager. And Ryan Raver. Kenton Rexigo. Caden Rice. Javier Rodriguez. Hayden Rowan. AJ. Emily Schultz. And the last Schultz, Miss Izzy Schultz. Sohib. Hannah. Lexi Smith. Naomi. Evan Walters. Maddie. Jack Westhoven. And lastly, Mackenzie Weston. So guys, all of you that just got called up have a chance for next year to get this same award for all year. Keep up the good work. You guys have a great summer. And Mr. Bethel is up next on the stand.
Okay. All right, hang on, guys. Hang on. We appreciate the enthusiasm. Listen up so you know what this one's about.
This one that was an impressive group. That is a really impressive group. But listen about this group here. This is the All A Honor Roll Award. Now you might think, okay, an A is 90%. Well, on this award, you can't even get an A minus. So these are people who had straight A's, 4.0 all year. Very, very impressive. So let's be respectful and listen to their names. It'll be a much smaller group, of course, because this is a very, very difficult thing to achieve.
I don't know about you guys, but I prefer Bethelini over Bethel. Okay, so there are 6 people on this list. This is a really, really difficult list to get on, but that's a lot typically for us. So that's usually we get 3 to 5. We have 6 people on the list. Okay? So this is all A's, and I taught Mr. Smoleski, and I don't think he was on this list. Ms. Harris taught me, though, I think. Okay. So, first person on the list is Claire Bullicamp. Next person, Elena Brait. The next person on the list is Jackson Westover. He must be a rock star. The next person is Mr. Corbin Lavray. The next person is Ryan Raver. I think that's it. I think we're done. Wait a minute. Let me double check my list like Santa. Lily Inslee. I know. I wanted you to feel the pressure. That was a really good job to those people. It's really difficult to get straight A's. Thinking back, my daughter was up here 8 years ago. That's so strange to think about that. She's graduating this year. So 8 years ago, I think she got that award. I'm pretty sure. Yes. Yeah. So keep working hard. It's really difficult to get straight A's, but I'd like to see more people on that list next year. Right? Good job to everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Bethel. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure what that was, and I'm not sure I can unsee it. But, okay. We are going to move on to the last award, so listen to this one. It won't take too long, but it is important that you guys hear who are the people who are earning these special honors. Mrs. Leo is going to come up and present the Perfect Attendance Award. Listen, guys, so you know what this is. Guys, I hope you don't have to do a dance. Okay, perfect attendance is, now that we go by hours, it means that you did not miss more than 1 day's worth of hours during the school year. So maybe if you missed a couple hours here, a couple hours there, and it adds up to a whole day, then you wouldn't have perfect attendance. Perfect attendance is somebody who missed less than like 6.5 hours of a school day. So you'll know you have it if your name is called, and you can ask questions later on individually. Okay, Mrs. Leo is going to read them, and then you'll have either a pin or a trophy, depending on whether or not it's a 1-year award or a 2-year award. So just come up this way and get your...
Boy, this is a hard show here. Following Bethel, are you kidding me? Good dance there. All right. We're going to do the perfect attendance. These people must have great immune systems, I'm telling you. Good job. 1 year perfect attendance. I'm not going to make you wait this year. Lily Ensley. Good job, Lily. Xander Crayer, come on up. Let's calm down over there. Power down, power down. AJ, come on up. Let's give them a big hand for 1 year perfect attendance. Now we have another award. This is for 2 years of perfect attendance. 2. That's a long time. That's a great immune system. All right, Aiden Lutz, come on up. Good job, Aiden. Give him a big hand. 2 years. Izzy Schultz. That's it for my list. Good job, everybody. Give him a big hand.
Thank you. Thank you to Mrs. Leo. Hey, and thank you to you guys for being such a great group of students. We can't wait to work with you next year, but I want you to enjoy your summer first. I hope you have a fantastic time and stay safe and healthy. And I can't wait to see you in 6th grade next year. We'll let the teachers dismiss you however they'd like to.